and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes of November 4th, 2024.
Motion to approve the minutes of November 4th.
Commissioner Pierce,
I'll second it.
Commissioner Kanowski. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Words and proclamations, they have nothing this evening. Public hearing, nothing on the agenda. We have a bid opening for sidewalk, snow and ice removal for 2024, 2025. Mike or Spencer?
I've got two bids. First bid from Lake Region Builders Incorporated. Bid total is $21,293.75. Again, bid proposal is $21,293.75.
Okay.
And then the next bid is from Mini H Snow Removal / John Dolan. Forgive me. Bid proposal is $4,493.75.
4,000 more, 493.75.
Right.
Oh,
Big difference.
big difference. Okay.
Of the envelopes.
See, we need a motion for,
Make a motion for mini H.
One was
removal.
20.
well, we
Oh,
just submit it to the engineer, Public Works.
I forgot that thing.
No problem. So you're making that motion?
Yes.
Commissioner Pierce,
Second.
Commissioner Eulenkamp. Okay. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, the next item, visitors delegation. Lisa's not here tonight, but from the Lake Region Heritage Center, but I do think that she's requesting her funding, right?
Yeah, she said that she could come back to the next meeting, give an update for you guys.
Yeah, anytime she wants.
That sounds good. Okay.
But we do need a motion to approve the funding.
To make a motion to approve the funding to the Lake Region Heritage Center.
Commissioner Kanowski,
I'll second.
Commissioner Eulenkamp, what do you got?
No, you.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Kanowski.
Aye.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Eulenkamp.
Aye.
President Mo.
Aye, motion carried. Okay, Commissioner portfolios, Commissioner Pierce.
Chief, I got.
Tomorrow, we're taking 201 down to Fargo. That'll be down there for about a week for some testing and hopefully repairs.
What's going
They're
on?
having issues with the engine. It's been operable. It's just when we brought it to Grand Forks for some repairs, it got messed up somehow. So they'd like it to go down to Fargo. So we got that. And then all of our airport specific training, we got that done. We're going to send off all the documentation to the cert inspector for review and approval. And then our new guy started today. This is his first day. So
Is that who was driving around here just a little bit ago?
probably they were over at the middle school doing a school tour. So
Oh, okay.
that's all I got for you.
We had our first building committee meeting for the LEC last week. We got some stuff that came through that, which was a great conversation with folks that we have on the board or the committee. And we'll discuss it tomorrow or Wednesday at our LEC board meeting, and I'll fill you in with what's decided after that.
Sounds good.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Eulenkamp.
Streets, Mr. Grausgard.
Was out at the shop this morning, making sure all of our equipment is ready in case we do receive some of the white stuff. And they were putting the finishing touches on some things. All the equipment's ready. We don't get a lot, but if we do, the crew is ready, equipment's ready. That's all I have for streets, Commissioner, unless you have questions.
Good. Got nothing else?
Okay, we'll have to add more to it next time.
Okay.
Okay, Commissioner Hatch.
Mike, anything from sanitation?
Nothing for sanitation tonight, Commissioner. Under engineering, we are working on the Ford lift station. You've seen some of the equipment out there.
Hmm.
We're replacing the outfall structure. There was a concrete splash pad for the outfall, so when the pumps discharge the water, it crashes onto this erosion pad that kind of disperses a lot of the energy. And that thing had settled, vertically about 3 feet over time. The concrete had rotted. And it started, actually, the wing walls were starting to pull away from the structure itself, spalling the concrete. That was a change that we noticed on the north wall this year. Gowan Construction was in town doing other work. They had all their demo equipment in town. So we're fortunate enough to work out an arrangement with them to have the work completed. The work's identified in their capital improvement plan and should fall within the budget identified within that plan. Hopefully, depending upon the rain and what happens, the sheet piling's in place. Now it's a matter of just putting in fabric and some bedding stone and rock, and then we would have that work completed. So depending upon the rain, we'll try and get it finished up this week if we can.
You're not gonna have concrete base anymore? It's gonna be a rock?
It was going to be very expensive, and the timing of that was going to be critical to have it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is put bedding stone and then riprap to dissipate the energy. And then rather than putting in concrete wing walls, we're using sheet pile steel sheets that are driven in. That'll
Yeah.
hold back the soil. Should work good. That's all I have for engineering, unless you have questions.
Nothing else? Rob?
Got nothing for you tonight unless you have questions for me.
I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Kanowski.
Mike, what about water department?
If you had driven on 12th Avenue southeast, north of the railroad tracks going north of Home Economy, you would have seen some work today. There was a water break. There was an old water service line in that area that was abandoned 40 years ago by turning off a curb stop, and the copper water line had rotted and sprung a leak. So they terminated that at the main now and got that taken care of.
That's all I have to go around today.
Mm-hmm. Bummer.
Yes.
That's why you had to go
Take the
around.
long way home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of traffic on that roadway.
I don't
that you
think your dad did, or
realize.
I didn't either would do that. That was the guy before us.
So where the apartment building is, there used to be a couple of houses on the east side of the avenue there.
Uh-huh.
And when they went away and the apartment complex put in,
Oh.
the curb stop was turned off. It wasn't terminated at the main, but got taken care of now. That's all I have for utilities, Commissioner, unless you have questions.
No, sir, I don't. That's all I have, sir.
Okay, thank you. Chief.
We had our supervisor meeting on November 6th, and we promoted Senior Officer Gilbertson Rickson, Anthony, and Lee Desaro Dallas. So those four will be promoted to corporal.
Who are they?
January 1st. That's Corey Gilbertson, Darren Rickson, Russell Anthony, and Kristen Dallas.
Okay,
So all four had put in for it, and we all unanimously agreed that they would.
congratulations to those.
So at the end of
Yeah.
December, we'll do a swearing in on all those,
Okay,
effectively at December 30th. Detective Rodriguez is in advanced criminal investigations this week in Jamestown. So that's a good class. That's all week long. And Officer Gerald Holger has one more month left at LEDA, Law Enforcement Training Academy in Bismarck, and he'll be back with us on December 20th. He graduates.
Mhm.
So looking forward to that. That's all I have for you.
well, once again, you have our deepest sympathy for the loss you mom.
Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Spencer.
Yeah, Mayor, members of the commission, I guess first, just on behalf of the chamber, the big holiday celebration is November 30th. And I think being the first inaugural year, they're hoping for a good showing. And so if you guys are in the area, I encourage you guys to participate in the festivities of the day.
November, what's that?
30th.
30th. You know,
I'll
on
be
behalf
selling
of-
the crafts there that I made. So. My little Susie Homemaker stuff that I did.
They have quite a schedule. I
They
saw
have
it today on
an excellent-
Facebook.
Who's
They have
putting it on? This chamber?
the chamber.
That's the big tree lighting.
Yeah.
and
You're
all
lighting the
that.
tree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They've had-
Fireworks.
I'm lighting the tree? Oh, boy. Better make sure my grandkid, I better, yeah. November 30th. I'm lighting the tree, yeah.
It's gonna be
I'll have all kinds of sparks going off, just like Christmas story.
It's not 30 below.
Everything is gonna short circuit. I can just see it happening.
Make sure your generators are ready.
Don't lick your fingers before you put it together.
Oh, I got visions of that bad stuff happening. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
do that.
Huh? Might have to. Okay.
Just
Sure.
real quick, also too, for city employees that are hired after January 1, 2025, there's going to be changes as far as the ND PERS plans that is offered. It's going to be a defined contribution plan. And so city needs to work up what its contribution and what the employee's contribution is going to be for that piece, because it's not the full 16.26% right now, because that the city does. It's, I want to say it's around 9% total that it's 4 and 5%, I want to say, between the employee and the employer. And so we'll have to pick up a certain portion, and there's optional amounts. And so I'm going to put something before you as to try and make it as far as fair and equitable across the board, as far as what the city's contributing and what the employee has to contribute. So we'll get that plan up to you here next meeting here in December, so you guys can take a look and take action on what the city wants to contribute for those new employees that come after that. It won't have an effect on the police department, but everybody else would be. So other thing that we'll the rest of the year we'll talk about is opioid money. We've got about $10,000 that's trickled down to us as far as all the nationwide opioid litigation. And I'm probably going to recommend that we transition that over and work with public health and maybe set those funds over to public health, as there's not really a whole much that we're going to be able to do as the city with $10,000 to really make a dent in some of the problems we have with the opioid pandemic around here. And so try to work with public health the best they had to have a sense conversation with somebody that walked into City Hall and worked with public health. And so going to get with the county a little bit and just probably recommend to transition those funds. Maybe we can bring them to the commission meeting and tell you what they, on a high level, would intend to do with them. Again, it's just $10,000, and it's going to continue to trickle in slowly over the years to come. So,
Good.
and then last thing, auditors were here last week. My understanding, everything went well. They got the documents that they needed, and so just doing the necessary follow-ups and those sorts of things. And then got an email from Moody's because we don't have any debt that's issued or has a rating. They were wondering if we wanted to maintain the issuer rating. I spoke with the folks at Northland Securities, George Elerson, who's kind of the city's used to work with Bill Fahey, who would come frequently. Probably know a couple of you know him. They recommended. They said it doesn't make sense to continue in the issue rating, and the city could probably benefit from a clean slate. And so that they said that given that we don't have any outstanding debt that's rated, there's no benefit, and they'd recommend that we just let the issuer rating go, and then if we go and issue new debt in the future, to start with a clean slate with an issuer rating and a bond rating. So I'm going to intend to do that. I'll follow with them, but wanted to make sure I let you guys know before we did that. And then having preliminary conversations, while I was talking with George on the phone today, had preliminary conversations about probably a debt issuance in 2025. Remember during the capital improvement planning conversations that we had, we talked about the water source replacement fund and the Southside Water Main project, and using some of that money to, over a longer term, pay via a bond or some sort of financing with that revenue. So having the preliminary conversations now, and it'd be something that we want to pursue after the 2023 audit's done, which should be by the middle of next year, and we'll be clipping along. So just letting you guys know those preliminary conversations are happening.
Okay.
Otherwise, open for any questions, but that's what I have.
Questions? Thank you, Spencer. Jason, have you got anything for us other than what we're gonna go over here shortly?
Well, as you mentioned, that we do ordinances up and they're on the agenda. I just wanted to mention this is a second reading for each ordinance, so it would be the time and place for the commission to take action on each ordinance if it so chooses. And I'll go into further detail on those ordinances when we get to that point in the meeting.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anything, Mike?
Mayor, if I could, based on the forecast, I'd like to make a recommendation on our city sidewalk removal proposals.
Okay.
Two things with that. As part of the bid package, we had requested a letter from insurance company to be accompanied with the proposal, just showing that the contractor, whoever submitted a proposal, could be insured. In this particular case, the contractor that submitted the low bid, he's completed our sidewalk snow removal work the last 2 years. The current bid is the same as it has been for the last 2 seasons, so this will be the 3rd season. So with that, as part of our advertisement, we do state that the Board of City Commissioners reserve the right to reject any or all proposals, to waive technicalities, or to award the proposal that is deemed in the best interest of the city. In this particular case, because I've worked with them before, I know that they have insurance, can be insured. I would look at that as a technicality. So I'd ask the commission to waive that technicality, having that letter from an
The
insurance
bid
company.
didn't submit that document? Is that what you're saying?
He failed to submit this letter from an insurance company, but based on working with him in the past, to me, that's a technicality. If the commission were to waive that technicality, I'd recommend awarding the 24-25 sidewalk snow and ice removal contract to Dakota Washmaster in the amount of $4,493.75.
Can he provide that document later?
Guess what I was gonna ask, can he?
You know?
So we'll get all the insurance documents. That letter was something that we had put in there in case we hadn't worked with somebody before and somebody wanted to put in a proposal, making sure that they could obtain the insurance.
Okay.
So it was kind of a little protection for us.
Mhm.
In this particular case, we worked with him, but he will be required to name the city as an additional insured and provide insurance documentation to make sure that he's insured to the correct levels. We're named as an additional insured and meet all of the requirements that are outlined within the proposal. It was just the letter that was missing.
Okay. What's the wishes of the commission?
I'll make a motion to, what's the word?
Waive the technicality.
Waive the technicality of the paperwork supposed to be submitted and approve the mini H snow removal for $4,483.75.
93.
93?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
4493.
Yep, 93. It makes a little bit.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Eulichamp. Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Kowski.
Aye.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Eulenkamp.
Aye.
President Mo.
Aye. Motion carried.
That would help if I would have my glasses on. I did right.
Okay, and nothing else under commission portfolios. We'll move on. Nothing under old business. Nothing under the consent agenda. We'll go into new business. The first item on the agenda is the second reading of ordinance 1003, City Municipal Code 10.16.442. It's secondary enforcement regarding seatbelts. Jason, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I do. I know I discussed this at the last meeting. I gave information on each ordinance. A couple of commissioners, as I recall, were unable to attend. So I'd like to give just a brief description of the ordinances. If it's too much detail, please interrupt me, tell me. So these are not complicated ordinances. But real quickly, secondary enforcement means that it used to be, if you were driving around without a seatbelt on, a police officer saw you doing that, he could not initiate a traffic stop. There had to be some other basis. For example, you were speeding in order for that officer to pull you over, and then he could do the secondary enforcement. Here's your speeding ticket, and by the way, you didn't have your seatbelt on, so I'm going to issue you a citation for that as well. The state law repealed that last year. I think it was August 2023. And so really we're giving that seatbelt ordinance more teeth. Now, if law enforcement sees you driving around with no seatbelt, you can get pulled over. And so it encourages people to, hey, wear that seatbelt because you could very well get in trouble if you don't have it on. Now, a little bit, maybe too much information, but actually in the ordinance, in the municipal code, there's an ordinance, a couple down at 10.16.444 that says, if any of these seatbelt ordinances and some other things that were up above, if they change under state law, then our municipal code is going to change along with it. So really, this municipal code that we're asking you to repeal, the secondary enforcement, it already has by action of that 10-16-444 section. But I really think it's worthwhile to put it in there and say that this is repealed for the sake of clarity, so that when anybody's reading the municipal code, they don't have to figure out what's expected of them and compare it to the century code and say, okay, do I gotta wear my seatbelt, yes or no? So a little bit, maybe too much information there, but the point is, we're getting into compliance with state law, which is not really the point. It's more so giving your police officers the ability to enforce that seatbelt law just as an independent violation. So you're repealing secondary enforcement, allowing it to be a primary, independent offense that the person can be pulled over for. So I recommend the commission adopt ordinance 1003.
Okay. Commissioners?
Make a motion for approval of ordinance 103, City Municipal Code 10.16.442.
Motion by Commissioner Pierce,
Second it.
second by Commissioner Kanowski. Any further discussion? Not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 2, second reading of ordinance 1004, City Municipal Code 10.16.441, use of safety belts required in certain motor vehicles. Again, Jason?
Yes, thank you. Really, this ordinance, 10-16-441, we're asking the city commission to revise it because of the repeal of 442. We're just removing the one reference to that secondary enforcement ordinance. Now the secondary enforcement repeal, we don't need to reference it in this ordinance 10-16-441, use of safety belts required. That's the only change. Other than that, I did remove the numeral 1 in parentheses later on. It just had no bearing, it had no place. It was, in my opinion, a typo. But again, we're just removing the reference to secondary enforcement now that that has been repealed. That's the only modification, and recommend approval of the ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Wishes of the commission.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 1004.
Commissioner Eulenkamp, motion,
Second.
second by Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Third item is second reading of ordinance number 1005, City Municipal Code 10.46.030, driving under the influence of intoxicating liquor or drugs prohibited. Okay, Jason?
There is one and only one change from the current version of this municipal code section to the one that's sitting before you, the proposed ordinance. That occurs in subparagraph E as in Edward. And what we're doing is changing the I guess you could call it the look back period. Right now, the municipal code says 5 years. We're recommending it be changed to 7 years. Couple reasons. Number one, that's what state law does. And number two, it gives you, in my opinion, greater ability to enforce the DUI laws. And I should probably give a little different explanation. This look back is to say, okay, if you have a second or a third, any subsequent DUI, then law enforcement, the courts, we're going to look back to the last 7 years of your life. And if you've had any other DUIs in that 7-year period, this is going to be charged out as a second offense, third offense, whatever it might be, and then the penalty will be, pursuant to the number of prior offenses. So by tacking on another 2 years, going from 5 years to 7 years, you cast a wider net, and again, telling people, you better please stay Stay safe, don't drive drunk, and especially if you have priors, be aware that this is gonna stand your record, for 7 years. So it's subparagraph E, it's being changed from 5 to 7 year period. Complies with state law, gives the law enforcement a little bit more ability to, penalize those who choose to drive drunk. Recommend the commission approve the ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, wishes of the commission.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 1005.
Motion by Commissioner Pierce. Motion by Commissioner Pierce.
second.
Second by Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Jason. Anything else for us?
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 4 is the 2025 proposed city calendar. Spencer presented that to us last month, and for our ability to look back at it, and discuss, now have discussion and decision to be made.
Mayor, I think I'd just be abundantly clear, this calendar reflects the current city policies, the current holidays that we have listed. Certainly, we're not adding any other days in there, right? And so we're making sure, we just want to put it before you for the commission. And for those that weren't here last time, the intent of this is to have the conversation one time in advance of the year. All city employees know the days that we're going to be open. They know the days that we're going to be closed. Supervisors know that as well. People can plan for it. Because I think sometimes over previous years, we've had the conversation depending on when the 4th of July falls or Christmas or New Year's Day or whatever falls that, should we close for an extra day, or the county does it and we feel obligated that we need to talk about it. We can just do it once, be done with it, and everybody would be on the same page then. So just requesting you guys reflect or look at it and make a determination if anything needs to be changed, and then would request your approval given your priorities, and then go from there.
Okay. Okay, commission, any thoughts or
I'll make a motion to approve
as is?
as is.
We have a motion to approve as is,
Second.
second by Commissioner Eulenkamp.
What do you guys start, Commissioner Kanowski, what?
I'm not saying nothing.
Oh, okay.
We're in the discussion phase.
We're in a
so-
discussion period. I figured you'd speak
No, I'm
up.
good.
All right.
Apparently, nobody has anything to say. Okay, if no more discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Well, that was quick and easy. Okay, next item is informational items are the October financials. For your information, they're on the computer. And last item is a motion to approve the payment of list of bills as submitted.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills as submitted.
Commissioner Kanowski, seconded by Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? No further discussion, roll call.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
Commissioner Kanowski.
Aye.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Eulenkamp.
Aye.
President Mo.
Aye, motion carried. If there's nothing else to come before the city commission, meeting adjourned.